We're heading into our fall real estate market. This is usually the second busiest time of the year after the spring market. But this market isn't exactly normal, and in my service area of Durham region, we've experienced price decreases over the last couple of months after the peak, which was sometime in late May or June. So if we're in a market that's still cooling down and prices are decreasing, what should you do if you're planning on buying a home? My name is Jessie McLellan and I'm a realtor here in Oshawa, Ontario. And in today's video, we're going to talk about buying a home in a declining market, how to get the best deal, and mistakes to avoid making. If you like this video and would like to see future videos about our real estate market in Durham region and tips for buying and selling homes here, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll start this video off with this since there's probably a lot of you thinking it. Is now the right time to buy a home or do I wait? And truthfully, the only person that can answer that question is you. I know that's probably not the answer that you wanted to hear, but you can't let any realtor or any random person on the internet make that decision for you. I can tell you two things though. If you're buying right now, you should be buying with a 5+ year plan in mind. If you're buying a home and want to sell it again in 2 years, I probably wouldn't recommend it because there's no guarantee where the market will be at that time. And the second thing is, as long as we're in a market that prices are declining and inventory is building up and there's lots of options for buyers to choose from, there's no reason to rush into a home you're not sure of or a home that makes you feel like you're settling. And if you're thinking, Jessie, if prices are dropping, why don't I wait to buy a home? And you absolutely can. But just like there are risks buying a home at any time, there are risks to waiting to buy a home. And as long as you know them and are okay with them, choose whatever feels like the right path for you. I typically lean towards the cliche saying of time in the market rather than timing the market. I've seen a lot more people burned by trying to time the market than people who have succeeded. And unfortunately, we can't tell you when the bottom of the market is going to be until we've passed it. Once you've decided you're going to move forward and try to buy a home, the first thing you must do is get pre-approved, especially in this market. Get your pre-approval and lock in a rate. This way, until your pre-approval expires, you don't have to be concerned with any rate increases and you can take your time until then. I would also recommend you consider using a mortgage broker rather than going to a big bank, though I do understand the appeal of having your mortgage with the bank you regularly bank with, but an independent mortgage broker will pull your credit one time and then shop around for you to find the best rate available, whereas a bank can only offer you the mortgage products available at that specific bank. If you don't like it, you have to go to another bank and have them pull your credit and start the process all over again. With a mortgage broker, you do it once, they'll shop around for you, and they also have access to big bank mortgage products as well, so you're not losing out on any rates they offer. Just something to consider. The next thing I would recommend is getting to know your market. I know not everyone loves looking at stats, but I would check your local real estate stats or watch some market update videos to get an idea of how long homes are taking to sell on average and what kind of pricing strategies are being used. Are a lot of homes listing low and expecting you to bid above asking, or are homes starting to list around what they want to sell for? Once you know the strategies being used and how long homes typically take to sell, you can use that information to your advantage and set out to find some great opportunities. If the average days on market in your area is, let's say, 17 days, then looking at homes that have been on the market longer than that time can open up some good opportunities. Those homes are likely not seeing many showings or much activity on it, and the seller is likely going to be at a point where they're willing to work with a lesser offer than they had initially hoped for. There's also a reason that these homes haven't sold. It could be price, marketing, the seller could have unreasonable expectations, or it could be a home that has something undesirable about it, whether that's the location or condition of the home. If it's unreasonable seller expectations or bad location or condition of the home, then we move on to the next one. But if it's not, then it could be something worth pursuing. The longer the seller sits on the market as prices are coming down, the less their home is worth, and if they don't have many showings or offers coming in, they might be inclined to work with you and settle on a price that works for you. This is also why it's important not to skip over homes that have crappy photography and that don't look appealing online. If the only reason it looks bad online is because someone took bad pictures with their cell phone rather than professional photography like the other homes for sale, then take advantage of that. Because if it doesn't look appealing to you at first glance, then it probably didn't to other buyers as well, and you can likely get that home for a much more appealing price than if it had really nice staging and photography. There's also the option of looking at power of sale properties, but there's really not a ton of those coming up, although we have started to see a few more. A small increase, but 9 times out of 10, if someone is heading towards losing their home, they will try to sell it themselves before it ever reaches a power of sale. When a power of sale home does come up, they're sold as is. So there are no guarantees made, and you could take possession of a home that needs a lot of money put into it. When people can't afford to pay their mortgage, they usually can't afford the maintenance either, or they're really upset about losing their home, so it's very unlikely that the home will be in mint condition. And it might even need expensive repairs or items replaced. So just be prepared for that. My next tip isn't going to help you get a better deal, but it is going to save you a headache in the future. The market we're experiencing right now is a prime example of why you will always consider resale value when you're purchasing a property. There are lots of homes for sale right now that were purchased in the last couple of years during a really hot market that are not selling, and the owners may have to take a loss in order for the property to sell. There are more homes for sale, less buyers to compete with, and you have more time to think about your options before you put in an offer, and you should be taking advantage of that. Don't feel like you have to settle for a just okay property. Avoid the homes that have a bad location, whether that's because they're backing onto something less desirable like a dump or a train track for some people, or they're located in a really busy intersection or a busy street, or maybe in a rougher part of town. Those homes are always going to be more difficult to sell unless you get lucky and end up selling it in a super hot market, but it's not worth the risk when you have other options in your price range that will suit your needs and be an easier sale for you in the future. If you are looking for a home in the near future in Durham region or surrounding areas and you think we would be a good fit, you can always use the link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works best for you and get your questions answered. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one next week. Bye!